Hi, my name is Galina Lipina, and I help people create harmony with themselves and within their relationships. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to get rid of repeating triggers. If there's a situation in your life, specifically in relationships, where you get constantly triggered in the same way and you don't like it, uh, you keep being re-triggered because the root cause of the trigger hasn't disappeared. It's still within you. What do you do about it? I use what's called mirror theory as one of the ways to integrate that. What is mirror theory? Is if something we get triggered by another person, it's usually because they reflect something to us that we have within ourselves that we don't love, we don't accept, we judge, we criticize, and it highlights it to us. That's why it's a little bit painful or annoying or whatever emotion that comes up for you. So how do you get rid of it? Well, you need to find the root cause. And there are many ways to work through your triggers. Some of them will involve working with a specialist. Some of them you can do by yourself. Today, I'm going to give you the tool that you can use by yourself in your life anytime. I use it always. So what is mirror theory? When somebody is doing something and we get triggered, one option is that they reflect something to us that we also do, but we're just not aware of it. For example, if somebody does not keep their word and it annoys the shit out of you, then look at where do I not keep my word. It could be that you do it in the relationship area, or it could be that you do it in other areas of your life. I'll give you an example. Many years ago, I was dating a guy and he really wanted to have a committed monogamous relationship. To which I told him, I don't believe you. You are not the kind of guy that does that. And it's okay. We don't have to be in a committed format right now. And he's like, no, 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 let's do this. I love you. Let's do it together. And I said, okay. And long and behold, a few weeks later, I discovered he was dating somebody else. And it caused a little bit of drama because that woman came to me and had problems with me. And it the situation was the situation. The guy said something and he did something else. But I choose to believe that everything that shows up in my environment, I create. So if it shows up in my environment, there is some part of me that created that and it mirrored something back to me about me. So I started asking myself, where do I do that? Where do I cheat? I'm like, well, I don't really cheat. That's not like, it hasn't shown up in my relationship patterns in the past. So that's not it. So I started looking for deeper layers and I started asking myself about the quality and the energy of that. And I was asking myself, where in my life do I say one thing and do another? Where do I have that incongruency between my words and my actions? And I couldn't see it for the longest time. It took me like 3 months of kind of questioning myself and trying to figure it out. It bugged me because I knew if I don't find where I do that, I can't change it, and then it will repeat itself. I didn't like it. So in 3 months, it came to me that where I was doing that was not in the context of relationships, but it was in the context of my business and my purpose and my vision. I said I wanted to create a successful business, but my actions were not aligned with that. Sometimes I would do calls with potential clients, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I focus on marketing, sometimes I just let it go. And I was inconsistent in my commitment to building a successful business. And when I discovered that, that was then a choice. Do I fully commit to it, but for realsies? Or do I actually say I'm not committed to it because it's not the time, I don't have the energy, I don't feel like it, whatever reason. And back then, I did choose to commit to it, and I started doing more public speaking. I learned how to do marketing. I went through the first discomfort of sales calls, and the ball started to go rolling down the hill with that. So that mirror, yes, it was a mirror of me, but I couldn't see it because it was not a straight up mirror. Sometimes it happens. What are the other kind of mirrors that may not be very straightforward? It could be that the other person reflect the quality of something that you want to have within yourself, but you don't allow yourself to. And it could be positive or negative. I'll give you a couple examples. One, if you get constantly triggered by people who are being selfish. Let's say, oh, she's so selfish, he's so selfish, I can't believe this. Like, shouldn't you think about other people? It could be that you don't even allow yourself to have a healthy self-focus and healthy egoism that allows you to put yourself first in some situations. And when we get attracted to other people from the positive side of the trigger, um, very often when we fall in love or get infatuated, it triggers us to kind of like want to be with that person because we feel like they have a quality we don't have. But it's not true. We always have those qualities. If it showed up in our space, we do. But maybe early in life, we did not allow ourselves to keep being that way. Maybe you get attracted to somebody who's very innocent and very like loves life and fully expresses themselves. And you're like, oh, I wish I could be like that. Well, you could. But there may be something that happens early on that you thought it was not safe, it's not okay, and you started filtering yourself. So when you see that unfilteredness in other people, then you want to be around that. So see what qualities you get attracted to with other people, what qualities trigger you in the positive ways, because that is also a mirror of you. Maybe perhaps the parts of you that you want to um, develop more, that you want to tap into more, that you want to allow yourself to be in. What is another kind of mirror? I experienced that firsthand very recently. That is the mirror of when the situation happens, like the dark night of the soul, when everything crashes. You know, your marriage ends, you lose all the money, you have like a business partnership betrayal. For me, it happened in the area of money when I lost a lot. And it triggered a lot of feelings, which was really hard to sift through because there are so many, but they were very dark and very low. And those situations that are dark night of the soul, one of the perspectives is that when that happens, that is also a mirror, and it reveals to you your biggest fear. Because whatever that biggest fear is, it now just got realized and you have to deal with that. And that is also a gift, how painful it might be in the moment, because when you work through that deepest fear, you become more free in yourself and in your life. So those are all the different kinds of mirrors. Now, we all will keep having those triggers until we discover what they reflect back to us and we dismantle that button. Because if you don't like that within yourself and it gets mirrored back, you feel all sorts of negative emotions. So how to solve that? You get to the button and you have to disable it. You need to either come up with another perspective, or you can work with a specialist. There's lots of tools. You can do it through meditation. You can do it through deep work and therapy and energy therapy. I have some tools as well that I use to just really untangle the buttons so that you can be more free and more present in your life. I use all the triggers that I have in my life as an opportunity for inner growth. Because when we get triggered by something or someone, we have a choice. Either focus on them and how they should and shouldn't be and how could you, but that really doesn't give us anything other than frustration and drained energy. So every situation that I don't like, that triggers some negative emotions within me, I always look within, because if I get to the root of that trigger and I clear it out, it does not mean that that situation will never happen. Sometimes they do indeed go away, but sometimes they do happen again, but we're not triggered in the same way. We can be more present, we can be more neutral in the moment, and we can be more logical about how to handle the situation. So that mirror theory, it's so fun, because if you get the mirror back of something that you like and enjoy, then you can fully embrace it and enjoy it and celebrate it. And when we get something that we don't like, it's an opportunity for growth. And it's also a gift, because then you will start seeing the parts of you that maybe you have not seen before. And you can tap into the parts of you that maybe you haven't seen in a long time. So I will end you with that. So if you're triggered by something or someone, see what does it reflect back about you. Something that you do, something that you wish you do, but you don't allow yourself, something that you closed off within yourself a long time ago, or maybe it's your deepest fear. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, like it, share it, and I will see you soon.